Ladies and gentlemen, the gates of Dark Dimension 4 have been breached. Battle Pass is coming, real-time arena is coming, and oh yeah, so is the XFactor. If you're ready for that and a lot more, guys, on your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update, my brother, GoofyRhexxi, tell him what to do.
Let's hoard mutant gear.
ValleyFlyin.
Oh yeah, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome to the ValleyFlyin channel and your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. I am joined this week by my brother, GoofyRhexxi. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, brother. How about yourself?
I am doing good. Now, I should have said the newest member of the Envoy program, GoofyRhexxi. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor. It's an honor.
I gotta say, it is about damn time that you're Envoy, and yeah, some big things coming. So you're getting in right at the right time. But
I'm excited.
There's a lot of things that went on this week. We got a huge blog post, 2 weeks worth of blog posts. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, I do want to congratulate you more, but we got to get into it because this is going to be a 2-hour video. Boom. First thing, Dark Dimension 4. Couple people have been in it. Tadano Mac is in it. Fate's Fury is in it. There's a couple other people in it right now. Let's go take a look at what they are using now. If we go into this node right here, what they used. Mr. Sinister, Ghost is in here. If we go to Tadano Mac, he used the Yellowjacket. And if we go down here, there was an Ant-Man stature. Oh, we can't see it, but if we scroll up there, there's an Ant-Man stature and a Wasp, all used in Dark Dimension 4. If we go to the second node here, Ghost used again. Yellowjacket used again. The trio of Ant-Man stature and Wasp also used. Oh my goodness. So first thing, do these teams that we're looking at, that these players use, these quick players, the level 80 in their gear, does this give you some insight into who you think you want to build for this game mode now that we see that some of the effective characters, at least on these first 3 nodes?
Yeah, so I'm actually okay. I'm not surprised, right? But I'm somewhat taken aback a little bit. I'm happy to see that they're actually using the pimp, as I call them, the Pym-tech team method. They're using them, but it seems as if though a lot of people are just kind of using those in the first couple nodes instead of building up other characters, just so that you can so that once you get to the global node, you'll be ready for the global node. So that's good to see. Curiosity though, I kind of like the whole Emma option because I feel like she's going to be a good standing character for that team. So, okay, let's put it this way. I'm happy to see that they're using the Pym-tech team.
Yes.
Even though I'm not necessarily a fan of them, I'm happy to see that they're using them because I want to be able to grab intel as to whether or not they're actually a good, viable team for Dark Dimension 4.
Gotcha. I totally agree. I'm not sure. They've been a little underwhelming, and it seems like they're just viable for this game mode. Now, Ghost maybe some other viability in other game modes, and but yeah, a lot of their passives, a lot of their bonuses just tied to this one game mode, which makes it seem a little disappointing. So these guys are doing the community a service. They get the bragging rights of being able to do it first, or one of the first 4. There's 4 people in it as we're recording this. But we get to see what they use. We could build our roster based on that, and I'm not even close. I'm at level 76 as we're recording this, so I can't even get anybody up to level gear tier 15 until I get everybody to at least I get to level 80. So it's going to be a few months before I said a few months, maybe a month and a half before I get up to level 80 myself. Now, how long do you think it's going to take Tadano Mac or any of these other Fate's Fury, any of these other players to get through Dark Dimension 4?
Well, with the spending, of course, the overabundance of course spending,
yes.
We're probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it probably takes them in total probably 2 months to get through it. I think that those global nodes are gonna be hard, man. The nodes with Elsa. they kind of scare me a little bit for them. I'm scared for them, you know, to be able to go through with the Pym-tech team.
Well, it's going to be scary for us at some point as well. But
true.
But yeah, they look like they've stalled on the global nodes. If we look at their teams, legendary character. We've got some cosmic characters here. So I think that they're stalling a little bit in his global section, which is why Fate's Tadano Mac has been at 20% for a few days now, not able to enter global. So I think he's still building up some of these other global characters. Emma seems like a logical choice. Seems like one of the first characters 100%. You want to bring in there. It looks like he already has Ghost. Are there any other global characters that you're thinking for these first few nodes?
Yeah, so we saw Mr. Sinister already, so that's probably a good option. I think Mr. Sinister, Emma, Ghost, and those
Captain
are
America and Black Widow from Fate's Fury. So he looks like he's pretty close to global.
Yeah, the Captain America one, I don't know how that would work.
This looks like a one shot. The 38 million. This looks like he one shot this node with this team.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who he cloned in that with Mr. Sinister to make that maybe potentially possible, but I guess we can find it out later. But I don't think there's any other characters really from a global standpoint. Maybe if you
the Pym-tech, that's going to get you through global. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That Pym-tech team, and then maybe Mystique. Maybe Mystique. No, never mind. Ignore what I just said. Mystique. Hell no.
They'll figure it out first. They'll figure it out for us. Yeah. But the good thing is that once they figure it out, there's going to be a celebration, just like with Dark Dimension 2, just like with Dark Dimension. You're already celebrating just because they're in already. But login calendar. So this wasn't announced. I was wondering. This hasn't been announced yet, but they did this for Dark Dimension 2. They did this for Dark Dimension 3. First player that goes through this, they will get to choose the 100 shard login calendar that all players are going to get. Now, is there any characters that you're hoping that they're going to pick for this?
Yeah, I would hope that it would be some member from the Pym-tech team. I think Ghost would be nice.
Team? Really?
Because Ghost might actually, I think Ghost out of the entire Pym-tech team is probably the only really, really, really strong viable character in Dark Dimension 4. So if you could get some higher shards, you know, upgrade her to the next level, then sure, I would say Ghost is a good option. You know, maybe some others if they do use them.
What about Cull? Not thinking about it specifically for Dark Dimension 4. What about just helping the player base build their Black Order? Because for some reason we got 4 Black Order characters that anybody could get if, you know, given amount of time in the legendary for Ebony Maw. But Cull, no word of him being farmable. Maybe that is the character to go through, depending what happens in December. If that's another option. Emma might be a good choice as well for some people that don't have a lot of the milestones, but Ghost probably would be the best out of the Pym-tech team if they choose that. But we're also getting 3 polls on Blitz for character used by the first time finisher, and I'm hoping that we get a few different polls and it's separated out with Ghost, separated out with unfortunately nobody's used Cull yet, but maybe some of these other characters that they've used. I don't know, maybe Stature. I don't know.
Maybe
Emma Blitz would be cool.
Like an Emma one would be really dope. I don't know if she's. I know that they're gonna exclude some of these characters, right?
That's right. That's right. They had to be released during certain methods, and Emma's not even option. So
Symbiote, Spider-Man, Emma, you know.
Yeah, the milestones and the legendaries are not eligible, but everybody else, can be eligible.
Cull would be nice. Honestly, Cull would be a really nice one. We don't know where he's going, and I'm afraid that he's probably going to end up in some late game node, maybe Doom Chapter 3. I'm kidding. Don't quote me on that.
That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad though. I would be happy if he came to Doom Chapter 3.
I wouldn't, as a mid game player. I wouldn't.
Well, let us know in the comments, guys. Who would you want to see for some of these Blitz rotation characters, some of these 10 for 10 offers that you're talking about, and the login? The 100 shards of what character? Who do you want to see the most? But it looks like we having something else coming very, very soon. BattlePass and RealTime Arena. Now, there was a lot talked about in this Strike Time episode with Cerebro and our boy Jaunter, and a couple hints, a couple things they talked about. They're talking about Blitz Sim, hoping for December of 2020, and this looks like it's going to be coming in conjunction with this Battle Pass and this new real-time arena coming. And just kind of the highlights here before I get your reaction to it. It is they've been experimenting real-time PvP in preparation for this real-time arena. And it's kind of like what we have in the game now in this events that you're restricted. Right now in the game, it's restricted for legendaries, and it looks like for this real-time arena, they're going to be restricting certain characters. And they're getting a reward system with this battle pass, and it's different from your daily objectives. But there's objectives for this battle pass and this real-time arena that you have to accomplish. There's dailies, there's weeklies, there's longer running ones, and these missions are going to require different characters. And some of these objectives he mentioned in this video, damage with Sinister 6, damage with Bio, and these are just some examples of some objectives that they're looking to have with this battle pass. So with all that in mind, that's kind of the summary of what they talk about in here. Yeah. Do you have more anticipation for this Blitz Sim coming, or this new real-time arena that they're talking about in this Strike Time episode?
So at first, when we talked about the real-time, I'll touch on the real-time or PvP real-time arena thing, battle pass aspect of it. At first, I didn't like it, but I do like although I'm mid game, I do like it for end game players. It kind of gives a little bit more variety and maybe some sort of excitement to PvP, because I feel like before PvP, the time frame that it takes for you to log in and to be able to actually do a PvP battle is annoying. So if you're kind of adding some objectives and kind of excluding some characters, I feel like it makes it a little bit more fun. Kind of like I've seen in some tournaments, right, where somebody will say, well, you can only use characters that don't have hair, or only that wear masks, like things like that, right? Like it makes it a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting. So I do like that aspect of it. I'm still a little concerned about Battle Pass, and for many different reasons. I think we've seen in the past things that's been done before. Characters being blocked behind a pay structure, whatever, paywall, whatever. That I'm not looking forward to. But I do think that the real-time arena, the restrictions can make it a little bit more exciting. Now, when it comes to Blitz Sim, I love Blitz Sim because I don't like Blitz. So that's a big one for me. But here's my problem, and obviously I'm mid to early late game now. So my concern is always this: there's a lot of late game players that have some beefy rosters that don't like Blitz, but now will Blitz because there is a Blitz Sim button, which then means that scores are potentially going to be higher, which means that it's going to be harder for mid-game and earlier players to now be able to get the points that they need if they're doing things like character releases through blitzes and things like that. So that's a little bit of my concern personally, but I do like Blitz Sim just simply because I don't like to blitz, period.
Yeah, it might complicate the rewards, but because the rewards are now percentage based, maybe that 1% expands because there's more people blitzing. Instead of I'm just throwing this number off the top of my, maybe instead of 250,000 players blitzing, maybe there's 500,000 players blitzing. Right. So hopefully with this, it expands these percentages and we get more lower scores to accomplish these different tiers in Blitz. That's what I'm hoping, but I am with you. I don't like blitzing anymore. I've just been hitting auto on blitzing and instead of spending a half an hour hitting auto, waiting for the battle to finish, I just bump, done in a few minutes. So that is going to save a lot of time, and hopefully with that time that's saved, it allows me to enjoy a new mode that I can really sink my teeth into, like the real-time arena. And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping at least. And
would be nice.
Yeah. Now, battle passes. Are you familiar with these things in other games?
So just based on what I've read so far, so I've looked at some other games, like I think like Looney Tunes. I've looked at some other, I don't remember the name of the games, but I just looked at the battle pass structure. So not fully familiar with it other than what I've read, extensively for like 15 minutes. A few other ones. I
played a few games with battle pass, and so let me just give you what I've experienced in other games. Not that that's what's going to come to Marvel Strike Force, but in other games, what it usually is certain objectives, and it's kind of like those daily rewards that you get. You hit these objectives, you get rewards, and the rewards are pretty decent. Now, and then there's another extra tier that you could get through to get increased rewards. So not only do you get that first tier, you get like a second tier of even better rewards. And those are locked behind a paywall. And there's been some rumors of what that price is going to be. It's different in other games as well. So there's better rewards at that next tier. And then there's another tier for people that just want to spend money, don't want to play, say, this is expensive version. You could skip all of these and just get the rewards by paying X amount. Now, if that is what came to Marvel Strike Force, is that something that would be appealing to you, or is that still something that makes you go, Battle Pass, yuck?
Yeah, so it's appealing to me to a certain degree. It's appealing to me because if as a cheap to play player or light spender, whichever one you want to call it,
cheap to play player. I've never heard that before. I like that one. Okay.
Light spender or guppy. Call me a guppy if you want to. Pretty much, if there are certain things that I now don't have to, so if it's like I usually buy the $1 offers or the $2.99 offers or whatever, if there is something that I can get by playing a monthly pricing, I can get some of those similar items, by just doing the battle pass, then it's probably going to equate to the same amount I was already spending before. But if it's just all grouped into one thing, cool. The characters, I don't think this is what they're going to do. I don't think this is what they're going to do, but I'm just saying that there's a possibility, right? If they do put characters behind those paywalls, then that's going to be a little bit of a problem that I don't appreciate.
That could be a big problem. Let's not gloss over that. It would be a big problem, especially for free to play and light spenders that that don't really want to be spending a lot of money on a mobile game. So that could be a problem. But I don't think they're going to do that. I don't know.
Neither do I.
We will see. We will see if they do that. See. All right. In addition to that, we also got a new character that came this week. A little surprising that this character came so quickly. I was actually expecting him this week, but he actually got released last week, and that is our boy. We mentioned him a little bit in Dark Dimension 3. Boom! Yeah. Yellowjacket is in the game, and the final member of this Pym-tech team. Now, have you bought Yellowjacket? Do you have firsthand thoughts with Yellowjacket?
So I haven't bought YellowJacket yet. Okay. I haven't bought any of the Pym-tech team in general.
It's very understandable, my friend.
Even though they might potentially unlock a legendary, I still haven't bought any of them.
Not been confirmed. That's all rumors.
Exactly, all rumors, right? Yes. So not sure yet. I haven't bought them because I just wasn't overly convinced about the team and just in the bottom. But from what I've heard so far, I heard he's a pretty decent addition to the team. I think in terms of ranking, right, I think it's Ghost, then probably Yellowjacket is probably like number 2 on the team from what I've heard so far. I can't tell you firsthand knowledge, and I haven't played with him, so I don't know directly, but from what I can see, he is kind of like the number 2 on that team, with Ghost pretty much basically being the top dog, on that team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good character. I mean, stature possibly, if you're using her just to get some ability energy to get Ghost ultimate going off a little more. But if we're talking all things being equal and you need some damage on your team, I think Yellowjacket adds that. And he's a fun character. I'm glad that the Pym-tech is finally complete. But what are you hearing about this full Pym-tech team? Is the people that you are talking to in your community, are they impressed with Pym-tech team, or is this the next Wakanda?
So actually, it's been a mixed bag. It's been a mixed bag. There's some people who are saying, this team seems a little bit like Wakanda, but then there are also some others that have said, hey, I've used them to do some punch ups. I think there's been a Marauder punch up, I think, in War that has worked. But that was without Yellowjacket though, so maybe I shouldn't say that specifically. But I think there was a Zemo combination instead of Yellowjacket that could punch up with the Marauders.
Zemo is a one-man army, so there's a lot of foreign characters that could pair with Zemo and do some big punch ups.
Exactly, but I think that they've had some viability in War, but not so much outside of War. I think people I've seen somebody in my Discord use them in Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 2, and they said that they the Dark Dimension 2 they did very well. Dark Dimension 3 was okay. Dark Dimension 3 was okay.
Is that because of the lack of, or potential lack of yellow stars and maybe a lack of red stars that was holding them back from being viable in Dark Dimension 3, or just or they're just bad?
No, that was going to be my next thing. It's hard to assess it because Ghost was only at 3 stars. Yeah. So it's hard to kind of assess it, from that perspective as to whether or not, because if you get 4, because I think 4 is the minimum that you really need for a character for them to be good in those sort of specific game modes. I think if you get them to 4, maybe that might have made a little bit of a difference, give them some additional survivability, some little bit additional damage. But in Dark Dimension 3 sucks anyway. So I mean, what do we know?
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint like it is in Dark Dimension 1 and 2. It's
right.
It's a long, multi-month marathon.
Right.
Unless you got some crazy characters that weren't around at the time. But yeah, I guess we will see. I mean, a lot of the community is asking for some of these bonuses, not the Ghost ones, but YellowJacket, Ant-Man, Wasp be viable in all game modes, not just Dark Dimension 4, because they're very questionable at this point. I'm holding off a final rating on this team, but it's looking very questionable. Now, as far as War, the footage that they did send us, we were able to, or we saw this Pym-tech team punch across on the Asgardians. And I guess if you have an equal level Pym-tech, you're able to take out the Asgardians. But there's a lot of counters to Asgardians, but maybe this frees up your Symbiotes or frees up Ultron or AIM if you're running across a lot of Asgardians, and you could use this team to take out Asgardians and use your other characters for some other team that is giving you problems.
Poor Asgardians, man. Jesus, so many counters now.
Well, they were the top war team for a little while, and they have to start making some counters for them, and then let somebody else shine. There's a bunch of other teams that are shining right now, but I still think the Asgardians are one of the top 8, but I know a lot of people are breaking them up, using different teams on defense, using some combinations like Thor, maybe Loki, maybe Hela on offense. So yeah, there's a lot of great teams are getting split up, or previously meta teams are getting split up. But other big thing that happened this week, we got notice of a new team, baby. XFactor, not X-Men, not X-Force, more hero mutants coming with the XFactor. Now, what was your thoughts when you first saw XFactor? Because honestly, you know what my thought was? I thought, oh, X-Force. More X-Force characters. And I even said XFactor many times, but in my head, it was X-Force all the time. So what was your reaction when you saw that we're getting some XFactor characters?
So the first thing I thought was, who are the XFactor? Who is this team? Where are they from? And listen, maybe I haven't read every single comic book in the world, so obviously that's probably the reason why I didn't know. But I was just like, who's the Shatterstar or Longshot? Who are these characters?
Yeah, I don't know if these are. I don't see. From my mind, I collected comics way back in the day. The original 5 XFactor were the original 5 X-Men. So Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, and for some reason I can't remember the 5th. Iceman, I don't know. But the original 5 X-Men were the original 5 XFactor, and then it turned into different teams. So that's the XFactor I knew. I don't know I didn't know Longshot and Shatterstar from the XFactor. So interesting. See what they're gonna do with these characters. Right. Where do you think that they are gonna shine? Where do you think they're gonna be viable once they finally come to the game?
So there's probably a few different areas that I think that maybe they might have some viability. Obviously, War, is automatically the first place that I think about, just because that's where I'm at right now. Like, I'm looking for more War teams, more War offense teams. I do like the sustain and the damage. I'm trying to remember who does damage. I think it's Shatterstar.
Yeah, they're both based on their crit chance. But but when you're getting crits, you're getting more speed with the passive of Longshot, and then when you get crits, you're getting more barrier with the passive of Shatterstar. We'll go into their kits a little bit more individually, but yeah, that's looking good so far. I'm curious to see what the rest of the team is going to be, but yeah, I think they're going to have some viability in War. Obviously, Blitz. Everybody has viability in Blitz. The question is, do you think they're going to have some raid viability?
They could potentially have some. I think with the speed up and then also the heals on their passives, that potentially there could be some viability there. But they're one's a brawler, one's a blaster.
Yeah,
Typically,
these are the damaging characters.
These are normally the lower health characters. If they have another XFactor character that can, help them with some sustain, then maybe. But right now, as I look at them and their kits and just the tags that they have, I don't see them as being viable raid options.
All right, who do you? I mean, I know you didn't. You said you didn't really know of XFactor before. Are there certain mutants or hero mutants that you're hoping comes to the game and completes this team, or is there some big candidates for you?
Yeah, so I know that we talked about maybe not me and you specifically, but I know that there's been talks about Dazzler having some sort of synergy there.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing the name Dazzler a lot on my live streams in the morning as well. So maybe. Yeah.
Dazzler, I think maybe like Kitty Pryde, and potentially I think Iceman having some sort of synergy with XFactor. Okay. So I think there might be some potential chance that maybe they'll have some synergy there. Curious though, but they need sustain if they're going to be viable in raids. But if it's going to be from a war offense, war attack perspective, it doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, I feel like maybe those are some other characters that maybe potentially could be coming into the game. Rumor, right? Like, who knows?
Rumor. Well, there was a data mine saying that we're getting 6 new playable characters in this next update that is coming very soon. So we'll talk about some speculation about who these other 4 characters are, because we know 2 are right here. But let's talk about Longshots in particular. And very interesting thing. I really like this, and I mention this every time I talk about these guys. They're both their father and their son because of the interdimensional and time traveling. So they're both each other's father and both each other's son, sort of, which is kind of cool. It's a kind of a cool thing going on here. All right. So Cosmic Mutant Blaster XFactor. So he has that Cosmic tag. Do you think this gives him any viability in the raids? I mean, not raids. Dark Dimension 4 in some of the cosmic lanes?
Potentially, depending on who you're using them with. And also, what I forgot about too? It also depends on their speed. Like how fast.
We don't know their base stats.
How fast is the base speed stat too? That's going to be a big one for me.
All right, what is your favorite part about Longshot's kit? He has his special. It's a big AoE attack. He has his ultimate, is a huge primary target attack, and he's getting a lot of crits. He's getting a lot of crit damage. He heals. He has a speed bar filled, not just for him, but XFactor allies as well. Yeah. And it's not just based on him critting. Anybody on the team critting, he's getting that speed and giving out that extra speed bar as well. So this is a very strong passive. But is there anything that really stands out as far as the kit, as far as your personal favorite about this character?
Yeah, definitely love the ultimate. I love the big damage. Once again, don't know the base stats, so we don't know exactly how much 550% damage is going to.
I mean, he is a blaster, so I'm thinking he's going to be very, very big damage. But not all blasters have a lot of damage. But I'm thinking he will.
Yeah, and it looks as if though probably because he does have so much crit, probably Raider ISO is probably going to be the best one for him, just based on what it looks like so far. I really do like I like tunes that apply bleed. I like the extra crit chance. I do like the extra speed up on crit too as well. Not just for him, but also as well for his counterpart. So or son or father, who knows?
That's why I was laughing. You said counterpart because his son, his father. What is it? I don't know. His buddy. I don't know.
His buddy. Yeah.
His relative.
And also, I forgot to mention this. The basics, both of their basics hit 3 times. That's pretty good when they're together. Both of their basics hit 3 times. I like that.
Well, I'm thinking this is him hitting once, bonus attacking for this amount of damage, but he's getting the extra damage if Shatterstar's an ally with him. So I'm thinking it's still twice. But maybe I'm reading that. Let me know your interpretation of what this means in the comments, guys. But let's move on to this guy here, because he has this very similar thing. This one says a bonus attack, but we'll see how these work out. Shatterstar, very similar kits. He has a nice basic as well, with some synergy with his father, aka son. He has a big AoE attack also. He has a big single target attack which chains, and then his passive that we talked about a little earlier, barrier. Anytime there's a crit for him or any ally. He's getting more barrier for him, and XFactor allies also healing, also gaining some crit damage. Whose kit are you liking better, the father or the son?
Well, it's the son of the.
I know. I asked. All right, so it's Shatterstar or Longshot. Whose kit do you like better?
So
I wanted to see what you're gonna say to that.
That's too good. So what I actually like about Shatterstars, I think Shatterstars is I like that special. I like that special ability there, because it's doing the piercing damage. I always like piercing damage because obviously it's bypassing armor. So I always like that, so that's a really good one. But realistically, I think this is gonna the abilities, their attacks are all great. I think everything is gonna live and die on their passives. That's really kind of where I think, things are going to, kind of make a difference. The damage is good, like the counterattacks, like the defense up, like the extra health, the extra crits and all that. But it's really going to be the passives, the extra health, the extra speed bar, that they're going to be getting. I think for both of them, everything is going to live and die for them on the passives for them to be able to get those attacks off.
Yeah, those some strong passives. Those are really strong. And especially if they get some characters in XFactor that synergize well with these kind of passes. My goodness, this could be a crazy team.
Crazy tandem.
But we don't know the other members of the team, and like you said, we don't know their base stats to see how good these are going to be. But so far, on paper, they look pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some other news, some big news, I guess. Red Skull replacing Thor, and as soon as we saw Doom 1.6 come out and Thor was on that note, I'm like, oh, he's gonna get replaced. Who's the permanent character? And it looks like it's gonna be Red Skull. So my question is, now that Red Skull is becoming farmable, is he still relevant in today's meta? Is there any use for building him except for a war defense team?
No, not really. No. I mean, that's. I feel like the jury is out on Red Skull. No one's really excited about Red Skull anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the chat, on when the blog post got released on Friday, we talked about Red Skull. Like, is anybody raise of hands? Anybody excited about Red Skull being farmable? It's almost crickets.
Yeah. Well, here's. I was talking to OMG yesterday, and he pointed out a good use for Red Skull in real-time PvP. If you go into that mode right now, there's no legendaries in there. So if you go to the event section of in the game, you can see some legendaries are banned. You could do a PvP battle, quick PvP. So there's no draft. You just pick your characters. Red Skull, Zemo. Very, very powerful candidates in that PvP section. So maybe when this real-time arena comes, maybe he'll have some viability there. But yeah, I don't use him at all, except on war defense and in a blitz team, which will be autoing very soon. So I other than that, I don't know what purpose there is to really build a strong Red Skull. Other than that. Yeah,
you actually touched on something too. Like, a lot of people I've heard now are switching Red Skull and putting him on offense with Zemo, as opposed to using them on defense anymore. Because now a lot of people are building up the Marauders team. They're building up those Mercs. That's really kind of like the Asgardians are still on defense. Those are kind of like the top defensive teams that people are really kind of investing a lot into. Obviously, there's a lot of others, too, as well. I think Coulson Avengers now is a team that's becoming pretty high.
Inhumans too. Coulson Inhumans are very strong. Coulson Fury Inhumans.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of other teams now that people are using as opposed to using a Hydra team. So I think a lot of people are going to start taking Red Skull and putting them on offense, and maybe for that reason, farming him might actually still be a viable option along with PvP.
Yeah, war offense, because they're pretty easily beaten by a Zemo team or a Black Bolt team. So is that really a team you want to use? If you don't have either of those characters and trying to counter a Hydra, there's still a pain. There's still a huge pain. Yeah. But if you have a Black Bolt, if you have a Zemo, that's pretty easy mode with that squad. Now I just talked about Black Bolt. He's coming back. His legendary event is coming back. Now, we don't have a date on this. So before we even get into Black Bolt, do you have a prediction as far as when we can start to see Black Bolt's legendary? You think it's going to be Monday the 30th or Monday the 7th? Because this was supposed to be 2 weeks worth of blog posts. What do you think he's coming back?
So I have a feeling that he's going to be coming back on. Okay, not a feeling. I hope he's going to be coming back on the 7th because on my baby account, I have a possible.
Oh, you want more time to farm him? I got you.
One more time. Hela's my only character right now that on my baby account that's quite some shards away from being able to get Black Bolt. So if I can hold out a little bit, that would be nice. But I really think that there's a possibility that he could be coming earlier. My thoughts, my feelings, he probably is going to be coming a little bit earlier than that. So we'll find out, I guess, on Friday as to whether or not.
No, we won't find out on Friday.
Actually, we won't find out on Friday.
This is 2 blog posts. This is 2 weeks worth of blog posts. This is all we know right now.
Yes, that's true.
How about your main account? How's your Black Bolt on your main account? Is he 7-starred yet, or are you going to get another star in this iteration for Black Bolt?
No, so he's at 6 right now, and he's at 6 right too. So I haven't really even been farming. I'm like, hey, you know what? He's already at 6 and 6. Can't ask so much better than that.
I recommend on your main account going and farming him out on your baby account. I don't know if it's a free to play account, but Hela, you need more Hela to get him because he's still a very, very strong character, still useful in many game modes. And good. I'm recommending him for everybody because he's been about a year in the game right now. I think he came on January of earlier this year. So still very, very strong. And it looks like he's going to be important even for a while more because it looks like his passive is kind of a counter to Dr. Doom that's coming up. So one of the big new characters, Black Bolt, still has some viability for that. So I think he's going to be in the meta for a long time, I think. With that said, we have a Blitz coming up with what is our girl Ghost. Ghost is who I wanted to say. Took me a while to figure out the name, but yeah, Ghost Blitz is coming out. And these are the scores for this past Ghost Blitz. 21 million was the cutoff. 21.6 million was the cutoff. Very, very big scores. This next Ghost Blitz that is coming back, are you expecting this to go higher? Because before this switch up, where Red Stars was the second week and Mega Orbs was the first week, it used to be first Blitz was very high, second week or second Blitz, it was lower. But now sometimes it goes a little higher with this. Are you expecting Ghost to be one of those characters that goes a little higher the second iteration for some people that maybe didn't get any red stars on Ghost? Or do you think it's the holidays, at least for the people in the US? It's the holidays, people aren't blitzing as much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the holiday is going to have a large impact on, people actually blitzing as hard. I think when Zemo came out too, I think Zemo was the scores were a little weird too because of the holidays. There was some holiday going on during that period of time. So I think the second iteration for Ghost, the scores are going to be a little bit lower. I don't expect it to be much lower though. I don't expect it to be much lower, but a little bit lower than what it was previously before.
Oh, I'm going to go against you. I think it's going to be a little higher, unfortunately, because the holidays, sometimes it makes people go blitz and play more. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to spend time with my family. I don't want to play a game, but there are some people like, I'm not working, might as well play a game. So we'll see. Now, after Ghost, we're getting the normal Orb red star blitz on the Sunday, but Monday's new blitz is going to be Killmonger. After that, we're getting a blitz for the previously mentioned Yellowjacket. What you think his score is going to be higher than the first iteration of Ghost, just through the natural progression of people building their rosters, or he's not as interesting, doesn't seem as viable outside of this Pym-tech team as Ghost does? Do you think they're going to be lower than Ghost?
So I actually think it's going to be probably around the same because people are still of the mindset that the team could potentially unlock a legendary. So I still do think that people are going to put a lot more similar effort into getting Yellowjacket as they would getting Ghost, just for that reason.
Gotcha. Let's go back and talk about our team, the Symbiotes, the last hot, fresh team that the community was super interested in. And we have a milestone, or what is this? A milestone event going on, Parasitic Symbiosis, where the rewards are kind of very questionable. But the good thing is, if we look at the scoring, you don't have to do much to get these rewards. So this is, I mean, I'm getting this just through playing raids and arena. I'm not having to go crazy with blitzing like I did for Anti-Venom. Do you like these kind of events that it's very little time, very little effort, and you're just getting free stuff? Or do you prefer those bigger kind of events where you need to grind, you need to put a lot of effort in, put a lot of time in, and you get some really, really good rewards? Which do you prefer?
Well, it's for me, it's situational. And in this moment, I actually appreciate not having to do as much for the parasitic. My God, it's a tongue twister.
Symbiosis.
Symbiosis.
I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I'm pronouncing it anyway.
But it's like I appreciate being able to kind of just relax and just get these milestones. The milestones aren't great, but you're still getting something out of it. Every little, I guess, adds up, right? So I appreciate it, but also even more so just because of the heavy blitzing that we're doing right now for Ghost. Then right after that, we're gonna do Yellowjacket. It's just, I like just the simple aspect of this right now.
Chilling.
I just seriously, I just like to chill and relax. You know what I'm saying?
Family, food, and football is usually what happens in Thanksgiving. I don't know what's happening this year with all the quarantining and everything, but we'll see what happens this year. But yeah, I like both. I like both, but I'm glad there's enough time in between that I don't have to go crazy like I did with Anti-Venom, and this one I could kind of chill, and maybe the rewards aren't as good, but I could chill and get all of these rewards. I got gear 15 there that I could get every single day just by playing and stuff I normally do anyways. So I do kind of like these. We got some events coming up this week. Block Party coming back. This, by the way, before I even get to this should be a monthly event, not an every other month event. Right. I mean, when it came out, it was like, all right, this is good, but it's been up for a while now. Before I even ask my main question, do you think this should be a monthly event, or is there still a reason that just is an every other month event?
It needs to be every single month. You need ability mats.
Agreed. And I know there's some people that aren't rating as hard and they're not getting a lot of T4s, but for some characters, especially these new characters, it's required. Now, how is your baby account doing on T4s? Would it be valuable for your baby account to have this come back every month, or is that going to throw things off of balance and just give just over to players like myself that's been playing for a while too many T4s?
No, I think it would still. So I wouldn't mind. Well, the baby account, different place, so I might not even be able to get to the T4s as much.
Maybe your main account. Let's talk about your main account.
Yeah. So for my main account, this will definitely benefit me, because right now there's a lot of characters, teams that need T4s. My Black Order for one, my Marauders for another, my X-Force team that I'm building up right now. There's a lot of T4s that I could absolutely use, and there's not really a lot of T4s available in the game, right? So give us some more.
Mainly from the war season and raid seasons where I get my T4s, and that's if you're not placing very high, it's tough to get the T4 the characters you want. So every month, Scopely, come on, we don't have everything on that other Monday of the month. Let's block party every single week. But you mentioned there's a lot of places you could use your T4s, and Humans, X-Force, a few other teams. What are you going to use it on this week?
So I think this week I gotta finish off my Marauders. They're my main defensive team right now in war. I gotta put some T4s into them. As much as I would like to see my T4s, me actually using them, I also wouldn't mind seeing some defensive wins, in war also. So I think some T4s are required. Maybe that Strife passive, maybe that Mr. Sinister passive, maybe some areas there where I'll throw some T4s. Emma's already all set.
All right, she's good.
T4s.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important character. Don't sleep on Mystique too. Mystique's got some pretty good ones, but I think some of those are a little more luxury. I think the ones you mentioned are a little more required. All right, we also got Chaos Theory coming back, not this week, but because this is a 2-week blog post, this is coming back next week. Next week, when you get your silver, gold promo credits on both of your accounts. So is there any characters that you're targeting, hoping that they're going to show up in that promos credit store that you want to spend these either silver or gold to get them up? Is there any certain targets that you're looking for?
There is Hella, but I feel like she's not as important for red stars as much anymore. So maybe not yet, but maybe my Mr. Sinister, might benefit from having some higher red stars.
Yeah.
So I'll consider him
and his clones and his clones.
Yeah, that's really why I want the red stars. It's for the clones, really. Yeah. So I think he's probably the highest target, and I know people are probably going to get upset for me saying this, but my Ebony Maw dies way too often. I think I might need a little bit more red stars on him.
What is his red stars compared to the rest of your Blackwater?
Oh, his is 4.
Okay.
Proxima's 4. Well, Cole is 4 also, but I mean, goodness, he's only at 3 stars because
well, he's pretty much at 3 red stars then, right?
That's right.
Gotcha. Well, those sound like good choices, especially that Sinister one for that. And
Sinister,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Cole's only at 3, then maybe I don't know if that Ebony one is that important, because I think Cole and Thanos are the 2 most important ones for red stars. But yeah,
Thanos is an option too. Yeah.
All right, I like Thanos, but we'll see what happens when it comes back. Because there may be things that change during the course of a week. I mean, it's a week away. It's a little over a week away. So we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments, guys, who are you going to spend your silver gold promotion credits on? And who are you going to T4 for Block Party, or are you going to Hoard? All right, now let's go to some data mines, because there's a very interesting data mine that happened this week, earlier in this week. It is one of those teases for the update coming soon. Now, this is not in the game yet as we are recording this. Maybe by the time you're listening to it, it's officially in the game. New Marvel Strike Force update is coming soon. Real-Time Arena and Mojo's Mayhem. That Real-Time Arena we talked about before. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun.
Hope so.
Mojo's Mayhem. What do you make of Mojo's Mayhem? Is that Battle Pass?
Yeah, that for me it just sounds like PvP and Battle Pass. Like that's what it sounds like to me. Like I can't say for sure because obviously I don't know, but it just looks like Battle Pass to me. Yeah, I mean, they in the Strike Time episode that we discussed earlier, they tied both of those together. So it does make sense that Mojo. Do you think that this means he's a playable character coming? No, I just think that Mojo's probably just. I think that there's a possibility that they're probably gonna. We were actually talking about it in chat last night. That there's a possibility that Mojo might just be for an iteration, and then maybe they might have some other ones, like maybe like 2 months, like just they might just switch it up seasonally or something like that. Call it something different. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, we will see. Let me know your thoughts on what Mojo's Mayhem means in the comments, guys. But this is a juicy part right here. 6 new playable characters. Now we already know about 2 of them: Shatterstar, Longshot. Other 4. Let me get your predictions on the other 4, because there's been a lot of rumors floating around. I don't know what I could say at this point because I've seen some things. So let me get your thoughts on who these 4 other playable characters are. I'm gonna remain silent for this one. So I think these are my thoughts, right? This is nothing that we've discussed this beforehand. Nothing has been confirmed. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess. All right. So we've seen Kitty Pryde. I think somewhere, like I've been hearing some stuff about Kitty Pryde. Have you seen anything for her? Or we're just hearing rumors for her. Just hearing people talking about Kitty Pryde. So I've also there's one. I've heard Iceman potentially. Okay, there's 2. Rogue is another name I've heard floating around. That's your 3rd prediction. And are you going to go with her boyfriend? I'm assuming Gambit is going to make sense. All right. Well, I have no comment on those. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Blitz Sim, this is super exciting. We talked about this. I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully it doesn't cause problems, like you said. Hopefully it goes in reverse and makes the scores easier, because more players are playing, and that percent gets expanded. Holiday events and sales. We saw some of them for Thanksgiving. We'll talk about this in the rumors, because there looks like there's some holiday events coming. New event campaign. Do you think this is a limited time event for one of these characters as a release method, or is this Doom Chapter 3? What are your predictions for what does this mean right here? So the new event campaign, to me, it just seems weird that they just dropped that in their new event campaign when they already talked about 6 new playable characters. It's almost like they're separating them.
All right.
You know, it's almost like they're separating them. So I feel like the new event campaign could be maybe a new chapter campaign that they're introducing, maybe Doom 3, but they just introduced
3 for Call Obsidian, maybe. I'm crossing my fingers for that one.
But they also just introduced Doom Chapter 2, so I don't know. But at the same time, I keep on reminding myself they're playing catch up, right? So Doom Chapter 3 could be it. You know, could be the next one coming out.
This is a larger update. The word I hear, and this is like 1.5 updates worth of updating, because a lot of the team from Scopely is going away for the holidays. So they're just, this is the update that's supposed to be about 1.5 updates. So could get to Chapter 3, but I do think one of these characters will have an event release, and they always talk about a new event campaign, even if it's a limited time event. So I'm hoping it's Doom Chapter 3, though, with this one. But that leads to my favorite time of every single news video, and that is talking about rumors. All right, so I've been hearing a lot of rumors on chat from the Valley Club every morning on the live stream, and there's been some interesting ones. And let me talk about the most. I think the one that the community suspects the most, and this was said by someone that has contact with a dev in his alliance, or supposedly has contact with the dev alliance, saying that their Orb milestone opening event is coming, and we've had that every holiday season so far. I don't think that's a surprise. What are your thoughts on this? Are you hoarding your orbs right now?
To a certain extent.
What does that mean? What orbs are you hoarding, and what are you not hoarding?
So I'm hoarding some orange gear raid orbs right now because I don't specifically need them right now. I've kind of mapped out. I kept a spreadsheet. Don't tell anybody. I kept a spreadsheet of my gear because I'm trying to upgrade some characters to 14. So we finally got enough gear now. Okay. So now I'm kind of hoarding those orbs.
Is this for your main account or your baby account that you're keeping the spreadsheet?
Main account for sure. If it was the baby account, then somebody got to come talk to me, man.
I was about to have an intervention with you. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoarding some of these orbs. I'm hoarding some of my gold orbs too. Hoarding some of the Blitz stuff, Blitz credits, to just not to use too much of them, because I know that there's usually like every December and also like every June or July they normally do an event. So I'm kind of hoarding a little bit.
So are you doing that just because you don't need the orbs yet, or do you believe the rumors and believe what we've had in the past is going to happen this year as well with orb opening event for the holidays?
Yeah, so I'm usually a hoarder, but I'm hoarding even more than usual now because I'm expecting it to happen.
And I'm recommending, if you don't, everybody asks this all the time. If you need the orbs, open them. Don't hoard them, because you're going to get the stuff right now, upgrade your characters, and you see the results right now. May hurt you for an orb opening event, but if it's going to help you right now, open the orbs. Don't wait.
Right.
That said, if you don't need gold or gear, or you're just saving everything, save it. If you don't need the contents of whatever is in that orb or potential contents of the orb, save it. Wait. Right. But if you need it, open it right now. That's what I'm recommending to everyone right now. But also the other rumor that was said in chat, and this is the same person that said the devs in their alliance are upgrading the Pym-tech team, the Ant-Man and Wasp. Also said that this Gothic Spider-Man team coming, which hasn't happened yet. So take this for what it's worth. But he was saying full XFactor is next patch, which means that all of these potential characters could be from XFactor. How much weight are you putting into all 6 of these characters? XFactor?
I'm okay. That just sounds too much mutant gear to me. So hoard the crap out of it. By the way,
BioGear. It would be a break from BioGear. All these bio characters.
It would be. Everybody start investing into your skill characters just so that you can hoard mutant gear. Don't do that, please.
Hoard mutant gear harder. We know at least 2 are going to be muted. So hoard your mutant gear, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually don't think that they're going to do that unless they're planning on bringing out a full team. That's the only way I could see them doing it that way. But with that being said, just because I don't think that they're going to do it doesn't mean they're not going to do it. So.
All right, well, again, we will see. Now, he did mention another shiny member of the team, and not talking about Shatterstar. So does this bring any potential mutant characters in your mind as a shiny member of the team?
Let me guess, Professor X.
I don't know. There's a bunch of names thrown out on chat, and I don't know, so I can talk about this. But Dazzler, you mentioned her before. That was thrown out on chat this morning. Who else? Jubilee was another character. Iceman was another character that was talking about shiny. So actually, I think you said not Iceman.
Meant shiny.
Shiny.
Okay, that's what you meant. Okay,
shine, yeah. What did you think I meant?
I thought you meant just like, exciting character.
Okay. Oh, he meant shiny. And what is I can't remember the exact word he said that the dev mentioned, but Sunspot was another character that was thrown out in chat as well. Do any of these characters excite you as, oh, that is the one coming, or I really want that character, or are these all like, nah, I don't think those characters are coming?
I think Dazzler is the one that makes the most sense, just because Dazzler has a lot of, sort of connection with those two characters, Shatterstar and Longshot. Okay. And of course, it would also make Iceman and Kitty Pryde, to me, see more viable options as coming into the game, just because they also as well do have some sort of XFactor, not synergy, but connections, too.
Well, we got to remember, I always say this to people, the MSF universe is different than the comic universe, and it's different than the MCU. It's its own separate entity right now. So just because they were something in the comics or MCU doesn't mean that that's how they're going to be in this game, as they've shown in the past. But let me just say, Iceman, founding member of X-Men and X-Force, or not X-Force, XFactor. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there, but let me know what in chat. What do you think this is? Shiny.
Maybe Iceman's a legendary.
Oh, I hope he's not a legendary, because I want these characters now. I want to build this team now. But the other thing that I just thought of, with all these XFactor characters being rumored, and who knows if they're true rumors or not, do you think that this is the next legendary character unlock, and Pym-tech is just like a kind of a placeholder that we got for some older characters that were sort of tossed around in beta, and this is the real legendary unlock that we should be investing in, and looking at their kit would not be as bad of an investment as Pym-tech would be.
Yeah, so looking at the kit, it definitely looks as if though they might actually be a better team than the Pym-tech team. So I could see them 100% being a team to unlock a legendary. But I do think that they're playing it really close to the vest, because they want to see which one do you not probably invest into as much.
This is very plausible
to probably make that team the team that
if there was a lot of people hyped and buying Pym-tech, that's not the legendary unlock. If there's a lot of people hyped and buying this XFactor, then that's not the legendary unlock. But if nobody bought Pym-tech or nobody's buying XFactor, that's probably going to be the next legendary unlock. What a lot of speculation from the community has been for a little while now.
So bad.
It is. It's true though. It's true. That's how they decided. That's how they decided the Phoenix is what is the villain mystic controllers. What does that have to do with Phoenix? Nothing. Except people weren't really farming Nobu and Mordo at the time, and Loki at the time, because none of them really had teams. There was no Asgardians, there was no Supernatural. They're just kind of random characters at the time. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. All right, and that is about it, my friend. It was a fun one. I'm glad the audio issues got fixed with the first video, because I've been wanting to do this with you for a while, and so happens it is a week that you get into the Envoy program. So congratulations again, my friend. Yes. Wait, there we go. There it is. That was absorbed for the first time. All right, my brother. Anything else? Anything you want to promote? Are you doing anything this weekend as far as streaming or anything you want to promote? And if not, just let everybody know where they can find you.
Man, nothing crazy. So tomorrow I'll be on Twitch. I'm going to be doing an afternoon Thanksgiving stream, so you guys can catch me on Twitch there. Also, I gotta say this, guys. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Appreciate all the support. If you guys want to catch me, you can also have my YouTube channel too as well, GoofyRhexxi, which I'm sure you'll share the links.
Oh, yeah, the links are gonna be down below. And I gotta say, your thumbnails are looking way better, my friend. I love your thumbnails. They're way better than before. So There's a reason you're getting more views on your videos.
Towels up, baby. Yeah.
Oh yeah, towels, baby. Inside. Let me know in the comments if you know what that inside joke is, guys. All right, my friend. It is always fun talking with you. We have a good time. We end up laughing all the time. So make sure you check him out. Let's help him grow. The newest envoy, along with brother Reminex. He's usually a guest on this show, but he got into the envoy as well. So congratulations to him as well. Goofy. It is always a pleasure, my friend. Hope you are good. And all you guys out there, whether you're celebrating Thanksgiving or not, hope you have a great week. Hope you have a lot to be thankful for. Hope you're safe and have a great week with your family, guys. I will see you guys next time. Smash the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. And Goofy, give me a fist bump before you go, brother. Where's that fist? There it is. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, and GoofyRhexxi out.